Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. With our time today, we would like to introduce you to a few Kapira solutions that we feel could help your public and academic libraries rise beyond these current challenges to further engage their communities both inside and beyond the library walls. We feel that these products will help meet patrons in the digital world, as well as meeting the needs of what your patrons need now. Hi, I'm Jessica Rathjen. I'm a library services consultant here at OCLC, focused in on our Kapira suite of products. I also have the pleasure of working with Scott McCausland here at OCLC, who will be leading this discussion today, and I will hand it over to him now.
Thank you, Jessica. A few months ago, I found myself having a conversation with my family, and I caught myself lamenting, I just want to get back to normal. I was tired of the pandemic. I'm ready to be done. One of my sons turned to me and said, Dad, we don't want to return to where we were. We want to learn and grow from this experience. I knew he was right, and I knew I needed to change my focus and take these opportunities to learn and to grow. Then recently, I heard a quote that put it in maybe a little bit better words. In referring to the pandemic, the person said, "We will endure this, yes, but we will do more than simply grit our teeth, hold on, and wait for things to return to the old normal. We will move forward, and we will be better as a result." This resonated with me. I believe it, and I believe it's true for the library and the library community. We will emerge better as a result of what we've been through. I'm Scott McCausland, and I've been with OCLC for 2.5 years. I live in Utah, and I joined OCLC to help be a part of moving libraries forward into the future. I was emailing with a librarian in Tennessee who made the observation. She said, if there's anything harder than closing a library, it is reopening it. Sometimes it seems at times we're taking one step forward and 2 steps back as we open. What we've also learned is what open meant in January and February does not mean what it means today. In fact, many libraries have a different definition when they say that they're open as to what that means. So how do we move into the future? What you are doing today will define the new normal. Part of doing this is addressing the trends that are emerging. Libraries have shared with us 4 major trends that they are currently experiencing. They are, number 1, safety. Librarians have this tremendous concern for not only their own personal safety, the staff safety, and the community safety. This began with physical safety concerns related to the coronavirus. That has since grown to also include mental health safety to ensure staff, community, all are well and healthy in all aspects of their life. Number 2, service models are drastically altered. What was once high touch and extremely engaging is not currently available in most libraries. Think of the experience that you had when you walked in a library in February versus what that experience might be today. Many libraries have removed the furniture, so when you come in, it's not as inviting. Some only ask you to stay for a brief period of time and move throughout the library quickly and leave. Others, you have to schedule time to actually be in the library. And in many places where you had free interaction, there's now plexiglass up as a barrier between those interactions. Some staff have even been reluctant with helping patrons, whether at computers or elsewhere in the library, in respect to social distancing to ensure everybody is safe and healthy. No on-site programs and events were offered for a period of time. All of these service models have drastically been altered. Patrons and students, number 3, are slow to return. When libraries first started to open, they did so at limited capacity. Many set numbers of 20 to 30%. What they found was there was no need to regulate this. The students and the patrons didn't return as quickly as we had all thought. When will they return and how will they return? And how do we as a library community help them return safely? And how do we, during this time when they're not physically there, ensure that they know what's available at the library so that they can take advantage of those resources? And number 4, budget unknowns. What does the future finances of libraries look forward as we move into the future? There are 3 solutions that will help libraries pivot rapidly as you address these trends. These solutions are Kapira Curbside, Lending Key, and Kapira Mobile. These solutions will help you address the current environment and help define the new normal. Number 1, Kapira Curbside. Many libraries have begun to open with much apprehension from the staff. Their concern for themselves and for others. Somewhere, a librarian had a brilliant idea to offer curbside delivery service so that the library could provide the materials they had to the individuals, even though the doors may be closed. Think of how rapidly the library community embraced this idea and made it a reality. In many cases, libraries found ways to make it work, even though it wasn't ideal. It may not have been the best customer or staff experience. With Kapira Curbside, this can be done simply, safely, and effectively, providing a great experience for both staff and patron. Kapira Curbside delivers an excellent example of a new normal. Thinking of curbside collectively, think of the benefits that will come from this one innovation. Number one, we have trained and taught our patrons how to place holds. Holds will forever be elevated because we've better trained them to place holds to get their materials. Number two, libraries have spoiled their students and patrons by providing curbside or in-person delivery to wherever they may be located. This, in some form, will perpetuate for many libraries. And even now, we are starting to see an emerging trend as libraries try to enrich this curbside experience by going beyond just what somebody has selected and placed it on hold, but offering services to make personal picks or grab mystery items or grab and go packages that will allow patrons to pick up items that are selected by the staff to fulfill and provide them resources that they much need. And most important, think of the impact that you as the librarian have had on individuals as you have provided them the resources and the materials that they have much needed and wanted. Jessica, will you share a few specific examples of how Kapira Curbside benefits the library and your patrons or students?
Sure. Well, firstly, curbside library service does not necessarily need to be what you typically think of curbside service in a car driving up to the library. Kapira Curbside can be modified to fit what your library needs. When I was attending university, my school's library was on the 12th floor of a building in New York City. No students could easily pull up with their cars to get materials from the library. However, a pickup location of the main building's lobby and another pickup location for in front of the library can easily become grab-and-go spots for students using Kapira Curbside. The staff console is a breeze to use. From setup to day-to-day routine from staff, the library is in full control over pickup options, available time slots, instructions for users, and they can easily adjust those settings for whatever curbside offering is available for library users at a given time, such as offering walk-up service or both car and walk-up service, adjusting them as needed for the safety of staff. Kapira Curbside is easily organized and runs smoothly. Kapira Curbside's front end for cardholders can be accessed on any internet browser, from traditional desktops to mobile devices, which means users do not need to download anything special to schedule curbside pickup. However, we do offer seamless curbside integration in Kapira's mobile apps, creating a one-place stop for all library service. Patrons can search the OPAC, place materials on hold, and once those materials are marked ready in the ILS, they can easily schedule a date and time for curbside virtually. No need to call or email the library. Connecting with the ILS and only allowing patrons to schedule a pickup if they have materials flagged as ready in the ILS ensures that items are ready for patrons when they arrive. Kapira Curbside also offers multilingual support to reach your entire community. Just as library service is changing with the introduction of curbside service, so is the types of materials libraries are now lending their users, increasing and broadening the typical materials with their Library of Things collections.
Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate you sharing those thoughts. The second item, the second solution, Lending Key. The name may not mean anything to you yet, but the capabilities it provides are extremely important. Never has there been a better time to be in the library community. Opportunities for your impact are endless, and people need your help. Think of what people are experiencing today as they quarantine. Many people have decided to learn a new hobby, develop new skills. Our children are going back to school in some augmented way, whether that's physically or virtually or a combination of both. But many people in the areas you serve have needs, and you can fill those needs with the unique things that you have in your library. ALA calls this a library of things. Lending Key allows you to manage and circulate those unique items that you have to benefit the patrons and put those items in their hands. Jessica, will you share how Lending Key can help a library provide more resources to those people who want and need them?
Sure. Working with libraries across America over the past few years on setting their Lending Key sites up, I have seen a variety of different items in Library of Things collections. A library in Michigan I worked with had landscaping tools such as weed whackers and lawn mowers, and it really helped their community by allowing residents to reserve that item in advance and then allowing them to take care of their property on a chosen day without having to purchase such a large ticket item. I've also seen coastal communities in Florida and Virginia that have had beach exploration bags, fishing poles, and metal detectors. Popular offerings from coast to coast include baking kits, GoPros, musical instruments, karaoke machines, and more. With people traveling less right now, some are even taking the time at home to try out a new hobby or to check off a bucket list item, like learning how to knit or crochet with kits offered by the library. Even more important now with virtual learning for primary and university students, libraries are offering their card holders to check out items like hotspots, STEM kits, microscopes, calculators, enhancing the virtual learning experience and engaging students in activities to make learning stimulating with hands-on activities brought to you by the library. Lending Key has been typically used in public libraries thus far, but with virtual learning, academic libraries offering physical items or a new collection of Library of Things can unquestionably enhance the library's experience for students. And what do students always have with them? Their phones. Let me pass it back to Scott, who can talk about how mobile devices are now an important tool to reach library users and expand the library's digital reach.
Thank you, Jessica. That brings us to our third and final solution that we'd like to share with you, and that is Kapira Mobile. We close by addressing one of the areas where libraries can make the most progress and have some of the greatest impact, and that is with your virtual presence. When the physical libraries were closed, your virtual presence all of a sudden became the only interaction that the majority of the people had with the library. A couple of years ago, I was driving with my son and I asked him for a sports score. He looked at me and he said, "Dad, I don't have that app." That led me to ponder and wonder, what does he mean? He has Siri, he has the web, he can find these things. That led me to asking all four of my children the same question: what websites do you go to? All four of my children, without exception, told me the only websites that they went to were school related: where to get their homework assignments, where to post their homework, where to find resources to answer their homework assignments. Everything else that my children did was done through an app on their mobile device. In the library community, a responsive web design is not sufficient to provide and meet the needs of this younger generation, as well as all of those who have become accustomed to using their phone to engage and interact with the world around us. As a library, you need a mobile app experience that provides all that your website does. It needs to match the branding and the messaging of the library and provide an experience that you are pleased to offer. As you do this, you will add new users, communicate more effectively with them, and be able to increase your contactless service. All of this enhancing the experience that your patrons have with the library. Jessica, will you share your personal example of Kapira Mobile?
Sure. Scott, do you remember when I first started at OCLC, you asked me when was the last time I used the Brooklyn Public Library website? And that question really caught me off guard. I had to think about it for a few moments because I downloaded their Kapira mobile app over 2 years ago, and that's probably the last time I used their website as a local patron. I can do everything with the app from day-to-day managing my account, reserving items, to receiving up-to-date information on library closures and new service offerings. Like the news tells us, mobile app usage is increasing where desktop use is decreasing, but it can also be seen with just personal day-to-day use. At home, I find myself constantly on my phone or tablet using apps, even though I have a laptop sitting nearly 2 feet away from me. Mobile app usage is a trend that is not stopping, and recent research shows that over 90% of mobile time is spent in apps, whereas only 10% is browsing the rest of the internet using Safari or Google Chrome. Kapira Mobile is an affordable solution that offers many features and engagement tools that can be customized by the library that truly encourages community engagement as well as keeping safety concerns in focus. With Kapira Mobile, your library's app is completely custom built, and as we develop your library's app, we hold our standards to what you have come to expect from apps like Facebook, Twitter, even Target: fast, pleasing to the eye, and intuitive to use. Not only can it carry on your library or school's brand, it can be organized however you need it to be to fit your library's goals and needs. The app is seamlessly connected to the library's ILS, event calendar, e-resources, databases, and more, which means there is zero upkeep or maintenance needed from library staff. More meaningful engagement. Meet library users where they are with an easy-to-install and customizable app that increases library use and inspires active engagement. Personalized. Libraries can personalize the experience with a custom interface, and library users can choose what they do and not want to see, including the option to receive event reminders and other information that they care about. Choice and convenience. With ongoing COVID-19 concerns and libraries in various states of closing and reopening, Kapira Mobile enables libraries to offer choice and convenience for people who want to engage with the library without having to visit a physical location. Many features in Kapira Mobile are perfect for this current environment. While in the library building, but to minimize exposure, Kapira Mobile allows patrons to pull up their digital library card on their phone versus searching for it in their wallet or their bag. Access maps to locate books independently with third-party vendor integration. Request a book to be ordered if not currently available to minimize interaction with staff. The SelfCheckout functionality allows library users to come to the library and check out materials on their own without having to come into contact with staff or touch any freestanding checkout machines that need constant sanitation. Checking out an item with Kapira Mobile, a patron only needs to touch their own personal mobile device and the materials that they are checking out. Authentic experience. Kapira Mobile creates an authentic digital extension of the familiar library experience. From searching your catalog and reserving materials to renewing a library card, and robust customization means the library brand is always front and center. Communicate better. Push notifications with strategic marketing messages, social media integration, and events promotion make Kapira Mobile an effective communication tool to support library goals that users will appreciate. Numbers that tell a story. Kapira Mobile reveals a new perspective on library engagement, so you can pivot fast as needs and expectations change. A wide range of reports provide an in-depth view into acquisitions, user engagement, and outcomes of objectives you've set to track success. Here's an example of a push notification you might leverage right now. Kapira Mobile can truly be built to fit the needs of your library and enrich the library's virtual outreach.
Thank you, Jessica. We'd like to conclude where we started, and that is with the library is the heart of the community and the campus. At ALA 2 years ago, I attended a session and a librarian from New York was speaking, and she was speaking about that very topic, the library being the heart of the community. And she said it just didn't feel right to her. It felt self-centered and inward looking at the library. As she thought about it, she decided just to alter the saying just a little bit. And she changed it to say, the community is the heart of the library. We see this in libraries. At OCLC, we want to help you realize this. We want to help you connect with your community, both in the physical and the virtual environments. Each of the solutions that we discussed will help libraries as they address the challenges and the trends being faced today. With Kapira Curbside, you can deliver materials and resources in a safe, efficient way, providing staff and patrons a positive experience. Lending Key allows you to have a greater impact on people by getting your unique items and resources to those who will benefit. Kapira Mobile will elevate your virtual presence, allowing you to interact with patrons in the ways that they have come to expect. These solutions will allow you to pivot fast in a rapidly changing environment. We invite you to schedule time with us for a demonstration to see how you can have a greater impact in your community as you create future library services and define the new normal.
We appreciate you joining us today in this virtual environment. Thank you.